It's going to be a fun night. 250 laps for the Xfinity Series at Iowa Speedway. A couple of kids on the front row. Green flag going to go in the air, and we're going to have some fun.
Green, 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 green.
Didn't take us long to get 3 wide here, did it, Adam?
Great racing off of turn 2. There you see Matt Tiff, Justin Allgaier, and Ty Majeski good in that outside lane in the 60.
Yeah, definitely a big wiggle for the 19 getting into turn 3 there. Also, he had to make a big save.
Christopher Bell, the pole sitter, took the outside lane, quickly jumped out front, but not getting away from Kyle Benjamin in second. William Byron up to third after qualifying 6th earlier this evening.
But big move by Majeski, though. Started in the 10th spot, already up to the 5th spot.
I was talking to Christopher in the garage yesterday, and I said, how disappointing is it? You had to make the change with the crew chief. Gabe Hart suspended for 2 weeks after that run was encumbered last week at Michigan. He said, I worked in late models with Chris Gabehart. I was comfortable with him. I had never met Jacob Cantor before this morning, and now the two are leading this race as we have our first caution of the night. It's the 90 of Dexter Bean. Showed some speed early in qualifying, and he will bring out the yellow flag just shy of halfway in stage 1. And you got 3 sets of tires in the pits. I'm guessing you just have to stay out here and maintain track position. You guys agree?
I don't think you can afford to put the tires on this early. Maybe with a handful of laps to go in that stage, you might want to do that and gamble and put them on in order to position yourself better for the second stage. But I think we stay out right now.
I think you have to stay out right now. There's definitely just too many laps left in this stage to make this work and make it pull off.
On board with Sam Hornish Jr., front row seat for the Dexter Bean spin. Into turn 1.
Got a little bit tight when he was racing with that
High go.
car up there. Lost a little bit of air off that rear spool, and around he went.
All right, we got 2 laps to go in our opening stage. You set off the top, Phil. Some of these guys here tonight, even though there were no Cup drivers here, could steal points. Christopher Bell in that category leading with 1 lap to go in our opening stage. Sam Hornish Jr. in that same situation is second. William Byron, the top series regular right now in stage 1 as we look at the battle for 14th. Majeski in the 60, Reddick in the 42.
Yeah, these guys battling to try to stay in the top 15. Majeski's 14th, Reddick 15th.
How about this? Second career start for Christopher Bell on the pole. Stage 1 winner at Iowa. Second to Sam Hornish Jr. Top series regular is going to be William Byron. He collects 8 points. His teammates right behind him. Allgaier 4th. Elliott Sadler from 38th to 5th. Others in the top 10. Kyle Benjamin, J.J. Yaley, Scott Lagasse Jr., Ryan Reed, and Daniel Hemrick also getting points here in stage 1. We're live in Iowa with the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We go green in stage 2. Byron in the outside lane jumps to the race lead. Look at Allgaier strong in that outside lane.
To the 20 of Christopher Bell racing side by side with Sam Hornish, the 22 for 3rd.
See him side by side, 3 wide. So important on the restart to take advantage and get positions here when things are tightened up.
Yeah, other than restart or other than pit road, restarts are the other easiest time to make passes. That's why we see the aggression and we see a lot of problems potentially happen on restarts. Everybody knows that, and everybody wants to get every spot they can while the tires are fresh and they're all bunched up.
I haven't mentioned his name in a while, but the 2-car of Ben Kennedy is inside the top 10. He is 9th as we get a caution, and it's Sam Hornish Jr., who was inside the top 5 and won this race 1 year ago, was scored in the 3rd position when he got it turned around and hit the wall. You're on board with the 22 here.
That's Christopher Bell, the 20 right behind him.
Well, we see Bell use that top side to get a nice run down into turn 1, carrying a lot of momentum.
Inside.
A little tough to tell. It looks like Bell maybe just slipped up the racetrack just a little bit and possibly cut Sam's left rear in the process of it.
Green, green.
Justin Allgaier with a power move. He's able to clear William Byron off of turn 2 from the bottom. That's a tough move to make here.
First time we've seen the bottom work here tonight.
Yeah, I have to wonder if maybe Byron had a little bit of a hiccup going into one that allowed him to get just a little more momentum there.
All the spotters and the crew chiefs will take note of that.
Yeah, that's just going to make them question later on, well, which way do we go? They're going to have less of a clue.
Good restart for Ben Kennedy in that outside lane. He's got as good a track position as he's had all night long in the 2 car. We're 3 wide once again among the bunch there. The 00 of Cole Custer. Ty Majeski outside of the 11 of Blake Cook. That was tight. Battle for the lead. Outside Allgaier, inside William Byron. He said, hey, teammate, that inside lane worked for you. Watch this. The 9 car going back to the point.
Yeah, and don't look now, but Elliott Sadler's right there running the top side, trying to make this a 3-way JRM battle for the lead.
Oh, by the way, Dale Jr. qualified 10th today at Sonoma. Been a great weekend for the 88 on the road course in Northern California. And if he's watching tonight, he's got to love what he's seeing. 17 laps to go in stage 2 at Iowa. Battle for the race lead. It is Christopher Bell to the inside and around William Byron. A lot has changed since we went to break, and Bell, who started on the pole, led every lap in our opening stage, is back out front once again. Hey, let's give a call to Benjamin. His 3rd career start. Every time he's been on the front row, but in the first 2, Richmond and Pocono, issues late that took them out of contention, finished outside the top 10. Adversity tonight would be easy for him to get down on himself, maybe overdrive it. He stayed patient, and that's why he's got a chance here to have a solid finish.
And in those first 2 starts, you almost have to say he was up front the whole time. He's getting a lot more knowledge, and he's learning a lot more as a race car driver tonight. That may pay off for him.
Whoa!
Oh, and as we talk about him, he loses it going into 3 here.
Hold on to it.
The classic jinx and contact with Ty Majeski, who's making his first career start tonight. And for the Kyle Benjamin fans,
Right front damage coming this time.
a sincere apology, because we absolutely talked him into that spin. It's going to be a 2-lap shootout to end stage 2. Front row to Brendan Gaughan. He stays out and takes the outside lane. Inside of him is Ryan Sieg. Row 2 goes to Dakota Armstrong, Jeremy Clements. The top 8 stayed on the racetrack. First on fresh tires is going to be William Byron in the 9. Here we go.
Look at Dakota Armstrong jump down to the inside, but Brendan Gaughan has a great restart.
Jeremy Clements working the outside of Ryan Sieg. I think this was a brilliant strategy call by Shane Wilson to leave his driver out, get maximum stage points, and get his first playoff point of the year.
Look at
Here
Ben
he comes.
Kennedy on the top side, making up spots like crazy, 3 and 4 wide. He's making some great moves up there.
Kennedy, one of those drivers that did come down pit road, and those drivers that just pitted will stay out when we get the caution to end stage 2. It was a track position strategy play for them, but the door opened for Brendan Gaughan. And that track position is big because those on the older tires behind him going to hold off the ones on newer tires. Byron comes back to second, but it's Brendan Gaughan who wins stage 2. How about that?
I'm glad we have electronic scoring, because I don't know how we're going to score 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th just by eye.
How much fun was that? That is fun racing right there. You love seeing that stuff happen.
Green, green, green.
Talk about the guys on the spotter stand. They're having an anxiety attack right now, including for those at the front. Byron outside, Bell inside, and look who's behind him. The deuce, Ben Kennedy making a play.
William Byron used the middle of the racetrack to get the advantage that time on Christopher Bell through 3 and 4.
And a little bit of adjustment to Byron's car since that last run that we saw. He fired off good early last time, and he's firing off good here. We'll have to see if it stays a little bit longer for him. Christopher Bell was able to get by him after a few laps last time.
See Christopher Bell trying to make that bottom of the racetrack work. I was talking to him in the garage today. He said, I was so excited when the top side came in last night. That really gave us options. He said, I can't wait to see if it comes in tonight. It's come in. Yeah,
it's come in, but the challenge for him is he's got to go to the bottom to get past William Byron because the top is taken. You don't want to go too much higher and risk getting up into the marbles on the top side of the racetrack.
And we saw Johnny Sauter able to hold on to a second place finish last night by going up top with older tires than just about everybody around him. I think you're right. I think William Byron just absolutely does not need to let Christopher Bell get to his outside.
I also agree with you that Elliott Sadler's laying back there in the weeds in third, saying, go ahead, fellas, run those tires off. I'll come get you. And he may be chasing Christopher Bell for the lead because he goes down inside of William Byron. The 9 now second. Brandon Jones getting his service. Here comes Cole Custer, was 10th. And Brendan gone on pit road as well, Herm.
Slow on the left side. They had great strategy and really improved their race car, but that was a slow stop for the 62. The left front tire changer had an issue. Caution's out.
And there goes Ryan Reed spinning to bring out the caution for the 8th time tonight. And it happened right by Christopher Bell, and he's got damage.
He got into the outside wall. Look at all the damage to our leader.
Oh my, we're gonna have to go back and see exactly what happened.
'48 made contact with the 16 of Reed, then the 48 came away from the 16, caught Christopher Bell in that right rear corner.
Lupton's leading, but the guy in the catbird seat is William Byron, who came down here under caution, got his 4 tires. He will restart in the 2nd position. You see him lined up on the inside here. Ryan Sieg, Dakota Armstrong will share row 2. Michael Annett, who's played the strategy game, will restart 5th. Ross Chastain is up there, Jeremy Clements, and Tyler Reddick complete the top 4 rows. We're going green with 21 laps to go.
Reddick is the only guy that's had any speed right now other than William Byron up in the top 10.
And he actually was on pit road, drove through the pit lane when the caution came out. Byron jumps to the lead on the restart.
See Reddick already up to the 4th spot, trying to get to the outside of Dakota Armstrong for 3rd. Look at him, 4 wide.
Why not? Garrett Smithley getting knocked around. The 51 of Jeremy Clements is there. Here comes Ben Kennedy in the outside lane, but Kennedy is 1 lap down. Some of these guys on fresher tires might get up there and put themselves in position for the free pass, and that's going to be a great battle.
Brennan, way up the racetrack, saved it. I'll be shocked if we don't have another caution here in the next few laps.
Halfway down the back straightaway for William Byron. 1 week ago, had his heart broken at Michigan. Tonight, it's going to be all about a celebration. Career win number 1 for William Byron comes at Iowa.
Last week, William Byron was kept out of victory lane by 12 thousandths of a second, but no such decimal points tonight. Great to get a call from Rick Hendrick as you win your first one. How good's it feel to close the door and get your first Xfinity Series win tonight?
Man, it feels awesome. It's thank you, Mr. H, for giving me this opportunity. It's so cool to run full time in the series. Everything's come full circle for me. I raced late models for JRM a few years ago, and I remember LW telling me he wanted to see me in an Xfinity car. So just to see it all come to fruition now and have a victory is really awesome. And I think we had a 1st or 2nd place car. We got a little bit loose 1 run, and then we got back on cycle there at the end and was able to take off. So really proud of these guys. Dave, everyone on the Exalta team. Thanks Exalta for being on the car, Windsor as well. So it's really cool.
Well done, young man. William Byron, 19 years old, the Xfinity Series winner at Iowa.